Hey everyone, welcome back to 4 Wheel Builds. And it's another scorching day here at the 4 Wheel Builds workshop. And today guys, we're back working on the C450 AMG. We're going to get that suspension removed in order to be able to get the engine out. And all going well today, hopefully the engine will be coming out. So let's head inside and let's get going to work. But take a look at that. That is smashed up. Now we've got the half axle shaft out. We can actually take a look at where it plugs into, and that's not looking bad. So there's nothing, doesn't seem to be anything broken in there. Alright, so now let's go and remove the remainder of this suspension out of here. Let me put you on time stand and let's get all this stripped out. And with that last upper control arm, we've got all the suspension on the right hand side removed. And now you can really see that hit. So you can see that hole right there. You can see I can put my hand through it. That needs to be fixed. I'll still need to remove all this stuff from the top here. There's a bit of damage here that I can see the whole apron went up a little bit. On this side you can't really see anything. Overall, I mean, obviously the frame rail here that goes through the length of the car is damaged right on the end, so that will need to be straightened up. Other than that, doesn't look too bad. There's a little kink in the support frame here, but overall it's not too bad. Now let's go have a look at the components I removed. So here's that upper control arm, and it probably doesn't look all that bent, but there is a hit that it took right there, and as you can see, that has bent this whole thing up. So that's actually now quite useless. Is the torsion bar link. I'm not quite sure if that's bent or not. These are not actually all that expensive, so that's trash. Obviously our axle, all that is trash all the way through. Even on this end, as you can see, that's the whole seal has come off and it's been bent. The shock absorber, well, as you can see, that's all bent up, and that isn't any use to us, so that needs to be replaced. Plus obviously that's broken. The lower control arm, well, I think that says it all. I think actually we quite recently repriced or something like that, because they actually don't look too bad. And there's the tie rod, and I think this is actually still good. And this is a steering knuckle, and I think it's a strap brace or something like that. I don't have a 40mm 12 star spanner, so I can't take it off. Plus I can't actually remove the bolt for the axle, because as I'm turning the bolt, well, this whole thing is turning, so I need to devise a way of actually taking that off. The steering knuckle looks all good, and there's the, I guess, lower control arm ball joint. Well, it's all bent up. Now these are quite expensive, so I am on a lookout for all these as the control arms. If you know of any good deals I can get somewhere, well, hit me up and let me know. So now we've got to do the same to this side. Yay! So guys, moving right along with this left side suspension removal, and take a look at all that damage there. So That's the frame rail that goes throughout the entire car. So the end of that's bent. There's the apron, I guess the bottom section of the apron is bent. The strap tower seems to be good here. There's a kink in the frame rail here. I initially thought that this was the only bit that was damaged, but there seems to be a kink in the frame rail there as well. Now take a look at the rotor. Dang, this was a severe hit. That rotor has split in half. Wow, I've never seen anything like this. And trust me, this is a very, very meaty rotor. So this was an impact, severe impact. So the only thing is, guys, I do have some more bad news, unfortunately. One of the connectors on this shock absorber is broken off. Now for the shock absorber is good. It's not leaking, so I will need to take it off. Doesn't need to be taken off for the engine, but it does need to be taken off, and that connector looked at to see, well, can I get it repaired or do I need to replace it? And next thing is this half axle needs to come out because that boot's got a hole in it and it is leaking some grease. So the next thing I need to do is take off this torsion bar or the sway bar, whatever you want to call it. It's just there. Now because if you can see, the torsion bar is blocking that bolt from that control arm from coming out. So I got to drop this. That's going to be replaced anyway. So I got to drop that in order to be able to get that bolt out and then get that control arm out. Before we can drop the torsion bar though, we need to get these braces out. Now that we've got the sway bar out, the torsion bar, whatever you want to call it, we finally got access to these bolts. It should be there we go. And it's a few days later, and we're about to do a engine pull out of our C450 AMG Mercedes Benz. The boys are underneath the car over there, and the engine is getting removed. And there you go, guys. There's the engine out of the car. Now we can see it in all its glory. Plus some additional damage that wasn't seen earlier. So obviously, apart from the things that we know that were damaged, there's a few more things. Both of the side engine mounts are broken. The transmission plastic oil cover, that needs to be replaced because it's cracked up right about there. There's this thingamajiggy at the back here of the engine, and there's a connector that's broken. Other than that, on the right hand side of the actual oil pan is this bracket that then mounts into the converter, and that needs to be replaced because it's all broken up. Now the converter, I thought it was actually going to be broken, but it's not. But one of the mounting points is broken on it, right there. Those converters are not cheap, so I think if we can save this mounting point, I think that should be a good save. Yeah. Front axle is not in too good of a shape, as you can see. as I spin it, it is moving around quite badly. It's bouncing around, and I'm 100% sure this is actually bent. But the main thing is, the block is good. We cannot see any cracks in the block. We don't see any damage at all to the block, which is really good to see. This is really good news. And there's one of the turb skis, and as you can see, it's looking magnificent. It's looking practically brand spanking new. Overall, guys, I mean, the engine, looking at it now with the engine being out, does look in really good condition. It looks like it's been well maintained, which is great to see. And there's nothing, well, apart from all the damages that occurred during the accident, there's nothing really wrong that we can see. The transmission is good. The 7G automatic transmission is good. Well, apart from obviously the oil pan. What I need to do right now is buy all these broken up parts. The front subframe has gone in. Now the two rear bolts, which go about there and about there, went in. The two front ones don't align. As you can see, there's the bolt hole and there's the actual mounting point. So this subframe needs to be pushed out, and so does the other one. Needs to be pushed out that way. Anyway, the body shop will do all the measurements and make sure everything gets pulled in the right direction. But with the subframe being in, I can start looking at mounting the suspension back so we can get the car rolling and we can get the car into the body shop. So the next thing I've got to do now is to get this wiring loom out of here. All these plugs sometimes it's just a bit of a pain in the butt to get out. Must admit. There we go. Finally got the bugger out. And now we are free to go upstairs and get the remainder of the wiring loom removed. So guys, it has been a very productive episode. As you can see behind me, the engine's out, which is a very big milestone. Now it's going to go off to the V12 garage, so the boys at the garage will strip all the, I guess, damaged parts and get those replaced and get the engine checked out. I don't have the facilities or the knowledge to be able to do this, so I'll let the pros deal with that. But let me say a quick thank you for watching, for being with us. If you like the content, please leave me a like, consider leaving a comment, and lastly, subscribe to the channel because it's going to help me and the channel out enormously, and it's going to help me to bring you more awesome content. And I'll see you guys in the next episode of 4 Wheel Builds. See you guys then. Peace.